Right now, some breaking news as former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. That's after a Paris court has found him guilty of criminal conspiracy. The case is related to illegal Libyan financing of campaign funds ahead of his 2007 presidential campaign. He was acquitted of all other charges. Sarkozy, though, has denied all of the allegations. Let's go live to our correspondent, Natacha Butler, in the court in Paris. Natacha, you're there. What are you hearing in terms of the verdict, and can it be appealed?
Well, this has been a case and a trial full of twists and turns, and now the verdict, it seems, is no different. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy given 5 years in prison. The judge said that was for his conviction of criminal conspiracy, I should say. She said that Nicolas Sarkozy had been the mastermind, the ringleader amongst his associates to try and procure illegal funds from Libya, that he knew exactly what was going on. So even though he was acquitted of the other 3 charges against him, which included corruption and embezzlement of public funds, he was found guilty of criminal conspiracy, and he has been given this very heavy prison sentence. Now, what we know is the next step is that Nicolas Sarkozy will then meet the judge in the coming days to talk about his sentence. But as far as we understand, he will have to go to prison. He will, of course, perhaps try to appeal it. Even so, he'll have to go to prison. He will, though, perhaps ask if he can serve out his term in house arrest or with an electronic bracelet. But what we are seeing is a former French president that will end up in some way for some time behind bars, and that is unprecedented. It is, of course, a huge political and state scandal.
Yeah, as you said, unprecedented there. There's been many calls of corruption across the political spectrum. What does that mean politically? What implications could this have, if at all?
Well, clearly for Nicolas Sarkozy, it is the end of his tenure, if you like, as a sort of figurehead for the right-wing Conservatives. Look, this is his 5th corruption trial. He has been convicted in 2 others, but he's remained very influential in political circles on the right and in the centre. But I think it'll be very difficult for that to continue if he is behind bars. In terms of France and corruption in politics, well, that has long been a problem historically in France. We've seen former Prime Minister François Fillon here in the court, also convicted of corruption. We had Marine Le Pen a little bit earlier this year, the far-right leader, who was also convicted of corruption over misuse of EU public funds. So this is something we see often in French politics. Nicolas Sarkozy himself involved. But what we are seeing is, people will say, is the justice system is working because these high-profile figures are coming to court. They are being investigated. They are being convicted. And now a former president behind bars. And
I'm sure this will be sending a big message across. Thanks very much, Natacha Butler, for the update there from the court in Paris, a sentence former French President Nicolas Sarkozy to 5 years in prison.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.